Today on Shoot 'em Eat 'em, Wisconsin, I'm scouting a piece of public land. This is a postseason scout. Towards the front of it, a lot of people walk their dogs, so obviously you're going to go back a little ways. Most of it was dog tracks and human tracks until about this part here. You still got some human tracks. Back there I had a lot of deer tracks. So I'm going to follow this and go towards the back of the property and see how it goes. Right here we got a pretty decent sized track. It's a little old, so when a track is set in snow and starts to melt a little bit, it will look bigger than it really was. But we'll just see if we can't find more. Over here they're going towards the road on this side of the property of the public land, and then to my left is private. Now when I looked at the aerial view, it did look like there was possibly a food plot back here at one point, and maybe a water source. So that's what we're hoping we're going to come across. And there's a few more deer tracks back here, so I'll be on and off here periodically and showing you guys what I'm finding. So one of the things I'm looking for, so far all I did was walk around until I found a couple sets of tracks. I won't follow a single set. Sometimes if you have to find where they're meeting up and traveling in a group is better. But so I finally came across a couple sets of beds. A little bit of higher traffic, still not all that much. Trail coming in from over there. Got some over there. But right here we got 3 beds. Obviously there's scat everywhere, but we got 3 beds, so they have at least bedded here. And I'm gonna go a little farther here. You got a whole bunch of trails coming in, stepping over the log, going over there. But you got a lot of decent amount of activity going back this direction, so I'm gonna follow that direction. Got another bed right here, so that's 4. Some more activity going on that way. It's pretty thick at this public. Probably will not be a good morning stand, because hiking through all this thick stuff in the morning is going to be pretty loud, unless I can find an easier way in. But afternoon stand for sure should be a good one. Now where this one's located, when I was looking at aerial pictures of it, satellite imagery, there's a nature preserve about 2 miles away. I know somebody who lives close to that. Last year he had a picture of a 14-pointer with a drop tine in his backyard, and he also had a really massive 8, and his buddy shot a really massive 8, and he lives right by the preserve. So that's what kind of keyed me into this area, trying to get as close as I could to it. Well, also about this area, notice some parts that'll be decent funnel points. Now by that I'm talking about where there might be fields on both sides, and where a couple woods connects, little creeks, water sources, stuff like that. So houses, stuff like that. So like I already mentioned, I did walk down the line on the public side, and there is a field out there on the private side, and they got a couple stands out there. It looks like they might have a food plot out there in the spring, and there's a water source out there. So I'm going to try to piggyback off of that on public, and I'm going to try to piggyback off the nature preserve on this public. So it has potential, but first you got to find where they're traveling through, and to narrow that down, just look at your funnel points on the land, where you think they'd be, where you think they're going to bed, where you think they're going to pass through. Look for food sources, water sources, and bedding sources. So I'm going to follow this up some more. Also, postseason is fun because you also have the chance of finding a shed. So right now we're just about into March, and they're starting to drop now. Over here they drop a little later. On the private that I hunt, they still got all their antlers, so might get lucky and come across a set. A lot of snow for that though, so the snow's kind of hard. So if they fell off recently, I'll be able to find them if they're on the trail. But primary is scouting for a decent spot here to try to piggyback off these two properties. I'll fill you in more in a little bit. So as I'm walking back along this area, you're definitely not going to be able to see it in the GoPro here, but there's some deer way down there. You're really not going to be able to see it on this though. But anyhow, there's two deer down there on the edge, and this is one of the areas that I wanted to check out because it's a little easier for them to travel down this fire lane or for telephone poles. So I wanted to check down here. They're like 400 yards off, so they really can't hear me. I'm not worried, I'm not thinking about it. They're on private anyhow, because the deer will like to cross here. You'll be able to see them, and also they like to travel along the woods, so to make their path a little easier. So I'm going to go onto this side now. I don't know how I feel, but this woods looks a little thinner. It's the back part of the public, so I'm going as far back as I can to get away from the people, more undisturbed, and also closer to that sanctuary. So that's what the plan is right now. Like I said, I wish I could have zoomed in farther, but can't do that right now on this GoPro. But there's two for sure down there. So I will let you know when more happens and when I got more information. Alright, so I walked some more and this is what I found. This is what I wanted to find. No human tracks in here. This is strictly deer that have beat this down so bad. Going all the way back. I was a little worried I wasn't be able to find a spot in the woods because as you can see it's super thick. So I saw a little opening and figured I'd try to come out here and see if there's anything going on out here. And like I said before, the deer will travel the easier path. And this is the easier path for them. So we got them going pretty heavily back that direction, and they're just coming through all over in here too. So this is a pretty highly trafficked area. I'm going to double check my public lands map quick. And according to my public lands map, I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably can't. But still on public, which is interesting because there's a tree stand over there, so that's got to be the corner right there. So I'd be competing with him if he's going to be out here a lot. I don't know if he will or not. I guess we will see, because this looks like a pretty promising area, and definitely a tough way to get back here, probably about a mile back. And after the first not even a quarter mile, all the trails end, which is good, because then they don't have people back here just wandering with their pets, because they don't want to walk through this stuff. For me, I see some pretty nice sized tracks here, pretty fresh tracks, and a lot of them. So I might make a couple trips out here when I only got my one day off, or when I don't have time to drive out to the other counties that I hunt in. There's 2 other places I hunt in, different counties. So this one's 10 minutes from my house, so that's good. Like I said, you got some decent sized tracks. Tree stand over there. Tree stand over there. But this right here is public. There's a lot crossing right here. So I'm going to put up a trail cam here. Now in Wisconsin, you have to have your name and your license number and your information on your trail cam. So I got that already. And I'm just going to put one on this path and come get in a few days when I'm off and see what's on there. I might wait longer than a few days, don't know yet. Depends on my work schedule and the weather. So, but that's it for today on Shoot 'em, Eat 'em, Wisconsin. It's a little cold, so my slurring is a little bit, but it's just a short, quick scout. Didn't really have a whole lot of time to go a whole bunch of other places. This looked like a really good property. We'll see. I finally found a trail that I wanted to find. So a good heavily used trail. And there was some more beds back there. Like I said, this is a good area right here, good funnel spot. They walk where it is easiest. We already saw a couple on it before. Farmer field over there, so I'm sure he's gonna have crop in. Guy over there had looked like a food plot and water source. There's also a small creek running through up there, so it should be pretty promising. I will keep you informed, and on a part 2, I might make a part 2. I haven't made a part 2 of my videos yet. I might make a part 2 and put up the videos I get here today on the trail cam. So that's all. Make sure you subscribe. Much more interesting videos to come. Fishing season's coming up when the water breaks out, or the ice breaks out, and I fish pretty heavily, so be a lot of videos to come. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you follow the notifications so you can see when I post new videos. Thanks. Happy hunting.